An amazing development and a major W for Pat Stay's family, as his convicted killer has now been sentenced to a second life sentence, and this one for the murder of Pat Stay. Now, first of all, I want to say RIP to Pat Stay and condolences to his family. Hopefully that this is some closure to this whole incident that's been going down, but it could never bring back Pat Stay. But just to give you guys a little bit of more information or some backstory to Pat Stay for the people who might not be familiar with him, amazing battle rapper representing Nova Scotia over here in Canada, over there in the east coast of Canada. And he came up through the KOTD or King of the Dot battle leagues, as well as battling in a multitude of different leagues like Smack URL, and has been known for some of the most legendary battles in the game.
That's the end of that shit. That what's your life like shit is fucking whack. You get flown around the world and paid good just to rap. What's your life like? Quite nice. Spoiled fucking brat.
And Pat Stay was an amazing recording artist off of the battle rap circuit as well.
Respect tatted right across his neck. I could paint the whole picture. These were basically all my friends, acquaintances. Really not even that. But when I was with him, boy, I thought it was bad.
And unfortunately, this brings us back to the incident that happened back in 2022 when Pat Stay was leaving a wedding reception and went down to a bar to meet Adam Drake, an associate of his that he had some issues with in the past. When he went over to the bar, he was met by Adam Drake and a few friends, where unfortunately he was stabbed in the chest and his life was taken over there in that bar. Now, Adam Drake was arrested a little while later, maybe a few months later, and there was a lot of speculation on whether he'd be freed up because of the amount of different things that he was able to get away with from before.
A former nightclub owner and a security guard testified about how a very normal night turned into a murder investigation when rapper Pat Stay was fatally stabbed. Our Callum Smith continues his coverage. He's in the newsroom for us. Callum, what do you got?
Todd, the co-owner of the yacht club Social, Scott McLean, said the establishment's last night in business was when Pat Stay was killed. The fatal altercation occurred shortly after midnight on the morning of September 4th, 2022. McLean said it was a night like any other until it wasn't. The Crown witness testified he was working the night of September 3rd and was going with a staff member to clean a table when he was pushed back. He turned around and said he saw, quote, a fist fly through the air and someone fall to the ground. He saw the man, who he later learned to be Pat Stay, head to the front door. McLean said he went to alert security after seeing a trail of blood. He told the jury he didn't see what caused the blood and didn't see any weapons. Adam Drake is accused of second-degree murder in the battle rapper's death. The Crown played a video in court today, again showing the jury the stabbing and the 2 hours prior to it. The lead-up tracked one man until about 12:36 a.m., who was mostly in the VIP area. The club owner said he did not know who Adam Drake was. The Crown asked if utensils would be served during the midnight hour. McLean said no.
And as the trial went on, Adam Drake was convicted for a previous murder of another person in the area as well from years ago. So he was already sentenced to 25 years. But that wasn't a complete closure as far as for the family of Pat Stay. So now, in a recent update, Adam Drake, the murderer of Pat Stay, has now been convicted to life for the murder of Pat Stay, as well as the previous murder that he committed.
The definition of inexplicable. That's how Judge Scott Norton described Adam Drake's surprise attack on Pat Stay. In June, a jury found Drake guilty of second-degree murder in Stay's death. And on Friday, in Halifax Supreme Court, he was sentenced to 25 years in prison with 17 years before parole eligibility.
The recommendation of the Crown was that Mr. Drake spend 20 to 23 years in for parole and eligibility. The defense recommended 13 to 15. The judge carefully considered all of the factors, no doubt, and landed at 17 years. He's weighing various facts, various mitigating and aggravating situations and circumstances, and the nature of what happened to Mr. Stay.
So as you can see from the report right there, he has been given a 25-year sentence with an eligibility for parole after 17 years. However, like I said, with the previous conviction that he has received or sentence as well that he's received, I doubt that they're going to be giving him parole after 17 years, especially with the 25 years that he has to do first. But we'll get to that.
Video surveillance presented at trial showed Stay entering a nightclub on Halifax's Lower Water Street just after midnight on September 4th, 2022. He approaches a group of people and within seconds is stabbed square in the chest by Drake, the blade puncturing his heart.
Mr. Drake is a dangerous man. He walks in the community and causes grave threat to our society, and that's demonstrated by his criminal history, and the judge ruled in according with that.
Drake appeared in court virtually for sentencing alongside his defense lawyer, Michael Lacey. Lacey recommended Drake serve a lesser period of parole ineligibility based largely on his unstable upbringing and indigeneity. During sentencing, Drake held his head in his hands as Judge Norton denounced Stay's killing as an act of senseless violence. Now, this decision does not mean Drake could be released after serving 17 years. He still has to wait a minimum of 25 years before applying for parole in his conviction for the first-degree murder of Tyler Kaiser. The judge told the courtroom Drake's prospects for rehabilitation are questionable, adding he's a dangerous man who may never be released on parole.
So as you can hear from the news reporter right there, the judge said that Adam Drake will probably never see the light of day. He has to serve his 25 years first and then serve his next 25 years because these are not the same case. So they're not going to be able to run these two sentences concurrently. So he's going to have to serve 25 years for the previous conviction that he just got. And then afterwards, another 25 years for the conviction that he has for the murder of Pat Stay. And then maybe by then he might be eligible after 17 years. That would be in total about 37 years at the age that he is now. Even if he comes home on parole after 37 years, which I doubt it, he'll probably be in his 60s by that point. But I doubt that he's going to be able to be eligible for parole at any of those times. It's going to be a long road for him. He's a violent offender. So there's a real high possibility that there's going to be some kind of violence behind bars and get some institutional charges to add to his time. So hopefully, and I know there's going to be some people in the audience who are like, what do you mean hopefully? Hopefully this guy ends up spending the rest of his life behind bars for the murder of Pat Stay, as well as any other murders that he's done in the past and ones that he's gotten away with as well. So there we have it. This is the end of this case right here. We are going to be talking about it on the next episode of the podcast that you're going to be seeing coming out this week. But this will be the final closure to the Pat Stay case for us over here at the We Love Hip Hop Network. And once again, I want to say salute to Pat Stay, RIP to him, condolences to his family, and a great, great artist and a great person was taken away from our scene on that day. All right. But that's all we got for our stories today. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Do you think that the sentencing was a little bit too harsh by the judge? Or do you think that they made the right decision as far as the sentencing for the 25 years for Pat Stay and the 25 years that he has for a previous case as well, adding them back to each other? And, what do you think about this whole case? Let me know in the comments some of your most memorable Pat Stay times, maybe most memorable battles, memorable songs, memorable moments if you've ever met him in person. And once again, RIP to Pat Stay. That's all we got for the stories today. Hit that like button on the way out. We are off of this. Deuces. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.